What if I told you that the biggest reason your arteries are getting blocked is not just what you eat, but what you do right after eating? And this is where most people make a deadly mistake. A mistake so common, so normal, that no one even questions it. But what happened to one of my patients because of this still shocks me. He was a 69-year-old man, simple lifestyle, no smoking, no alcohol, regular walks. On paper, he looked healthy, but inside his body, his arteries were silently narrowing, plaque buildup, slow, silent, dangerous. One day, he felt a slight heaviness in his chest, nothing extreme. He ignored it. But what happened next changed everything. Welcome to Dr. Danzy Senior Health Tips. I'm Dr. Danzy, and today I'm going to reveal a simple method that can help reduce arterial plaque naturally. A method that most people overlook, and honestly, many doctors don't even emphasize enough. Not because it doesn't work, but because it's too simple, too basic. And in today's world, simple things are often ignored. Now, before we go deeper, let me explain something very clearly. Arterial plaque is not something that appears overnight. It builds slowly, years of small habits, repeated daily mistakes, high sugar spikes, inflammation, poor circulation, and gradually, your arteries start losing their flexibility. They become narrow, stiff, and this is where the danger begins, because your heart now has to work harder, more pressure, less oxygen supply, higher risk of heart attack or stroke. And here's the scary truth. Most people don't feel anything until it's already serious. Now let me ask you something. After eating your meal, what do you usually do? Do you sit, lie down, scroll your phone, watch TV? Because what I'm about to tell you might completely change that habit. But first, let's break a powerful myth. If I'm taking medicine, my arteries are safe. That is not true. Medication helps, but it does not cancel out daily mistakes. A study of over 2,000 seniors found that even those on cholesterol-lowering medication had significantly higher plaque progression if they followed a sedentary lifestyle after meals. Yes, you heard that right. Even with medicine, your habits still decide your future, and this is where most people fail. They depend only on tablets, but ignore behavior. Now let me take you back to that patient. Before coming to me, his routine was simple. Morning walk, regular meals, no junk food, but after every meal, he would sit, sometimes lie down. Thoda rest kar leta hun. That's what he believed, and honestly, it sounds harmless, but inside his body, something else was happening. After meals, blood sugar rises, fat particles circulate in your bloodstream. Your body needs movement to process this efficiently, but when you sit immediately, circulation slows, sugar spikes stay longer, fat deposition increases. And over time, this contributes to plaque buildup, slowly, silently, dangerously. And this is the mistake almost everyone makes, resting immediately after eating. Now here comes the simple method, the one that changed everything for him. After every meal, just 10 to 15 minutes of slow walking. That's it. No gym, no intense exercise, just gentle movement. Sounds too simple, right? That's exactly why people ignore it. But what happened next was powerful. Within weeks, his digestion improved, his energy levels increased, and over time, his reports showed better sugar control and improved lipid profile. No major medication change, just one habit. And this is where the real realization happens. Your body is designed to move, especially after eating, because movement acts like a natural regulator. It helps muscles use glucose, reduces blood sugar spikes, improves circulation, and prevents fat from settling in your arteries. Now think about this. Every meal you eat is either contributing to plaque or helping clear it, and your post-meal behavior decides the direction. Now let's go deeper. There's something called post-meal glucose spike. And this is where real damage begins. Even if your fasting sugar is normal, these spikes, repeated daily, create inflammation, damage blood vessels, and accelerate plaque formation. But here's the surprising part. Just light walking after meals can reduce these spikes significantly. Some studies suggest up to 20-30% reduction without any medication. Now imagine doing this 3 times a day: breakfast, lunch, dinner, small effort, massive impact. And yet, almost no one follows it consistently because it doesn't feel important, it doesn't feel powerful, but your heart understands it. Now let me tell you something even more important. This method is not just about walking, it's about timing. Because most people think, I'll exercise later. I'll go for a walk in the evening. That's good, but it doesn't replace post-meal movement because the damage starts immediately after eating. And if you miss that window, you miss the opportunity to control it. This is where awareness changes everything. Now let's talk about another common belief. I eat healthy, so I'm safe. Not always. Even healthy meals can cause spikes if not balanced or followed by inactivity. One of my patients, a 72-year-old woman, was eating very clean, home food, less oil, no sugar. Still, her cholesterol was rising. She was confused, but when we looked at her routine, we found the gap. No movement after meals, long sitting hours. So we introduced just one change: post-meal walking. Within a few months, her numbers improved. But more importantly, she felt lighter, more active, less stiffness. And this is something many people ignore. Your body gives signals before reports change. Now here's where most people make another mistake. They think faster walking is better. No. After meals, you don't need intensity, you need consistency. Slow, gentle, comfortable movement. Because your body is digesting, not training. Even walking inside your home counts. Even small movement counts. What matters is that you don't sit immediately. Now let me ask you something honestly. After your last meal, did you move or did you sit? Because that one decision, repeated every day, is shaping your arteries right now. And what I'm about to share next takes this method even further, because walking alone is powerful. But when combined with one more simple habit, the results can be even stronger. And this is where most people miss the real opportunity. I'll reveal that next. But before we continue, if you want practical, real-life guidance like this, make sure you subscribe to Dr. Danzy's Senior Health Tips, because here, we don't complicate health. We simplify it. And sometimes, simple changes save lives. Now let's go deeper, because what comes next might surprise you. Now here's where things get even more interesting, because walking after meals is powerful. But when you combine it with this one simple habit, the effect on your arteries becomes even stronger, and this is where most people completely miss the opportunity. Let me tell you about one of my patients, a 71-year-old woman, disciplined, careful with her diet, regular with her medicines. She even started walking after meals after watching content on Dr. Danzy's Senior Health Tips. And yes, she saw improvement, but something was still not right. Her energy levels were inconsistent. Sometimes she felt light, sometimes heavy. Reports improved slightly, but not as much as expected. She asked me one simple question. Doctor, मैं सब सही कर रही हूँ, फिर भी फार्क इतना कम क्यों? And what we discovered next changed everything. Because there was one missing piece. Hydration timing, yes, water. Something so basic, yet so misunderstood. Now here's the myth. Drink as much water as you want during or immediately after meals. Sounds harmless, right? But here's the reality. Excess water during meals can dilute digestive enzymes, slow down digestion, and in some people, create bloating, heaviness, and poor nutrient absorption. And when digestion is compromised, metabolism slows, fat processing becomes inefficient, and over time, this indirectly contributes to plaque buildup. Now don't misunderstand me. Water is essential, but timing matters, And this is where the shift happens. Instead of drinking large amounts during meals, we adjusted her routine. A glass of water 20-30 minutes before meals, minimal sips during meals, and proper hydration between meals. Simple change, no complexity. And what happened next was remarkable. Her digestion improved. She felt lighter after eating. Her post-meal discomfort reduced. And within weeks, her energy stabilized. Reports improved more consistently. Same diet, same walking, but better results, because the body was finally processing everything efficiently. Now think about this. You can eat the best food in the world, but if your body cannot process it properly, it won't help you. And this is where small habits create big impact. Now let's connect this with your arteries. When digestion improves, nutrient absorption improves, inflammation reduces, metabolic stress decreases. And over time, this supports cleaner blood flow, healthier arteries, lower plaque progression. Now here's something even more surprising. Many people drink cold water immediately after meals, especially in hot weather. Feels refreshing, but internally, it can slow digestion further because your body now has to adjust temperature before processing food, and this delay affects how efficiently fats and sugars are handled. Again, small detail, big impact. Now let me ask you something. After eating, do you drink a full glass of water immediately? Or do you space it out? Because that one habit, combined with your movement, is shaping your internal health every single day. Now here's where most people make another mistake. They try to do everything perfectly for a few days, then stop, because it doesn't feel dramatic, no instant results, no overnight transformation. And this is where consistency becomes your biggest weapon, because plaque doesn't build in a day, and it doesn't reduce in a day. It responds to repeated behavior, daily patterns, small actions, over time. Now let me show you the full picture. After every meal, if you do just two things, gentle walking and proper hydration timing, you are already ahead of most people. You are reducing spikes, improving circulation, supporting digestion, and protecting your arteries without expensive treatments, without complicated routines. Now here's another powerful myth. I will fix everything later. But here's the truth. Your arteries are changing today, right now, with every meal, with every habit, and delaying small corrections leads to bigger problems. One of my patients, a 68-year-old man, ignored these small habits for years. He believed, I'll take care of it later. But later turned into a serious condition, multiple blockages, emergency situation. And when he looked back, he said something very simple. Kash main pehle dhyan diya hota. That moment is something I don't want you to experience, because prevention is always easier than treatment. Now here's something that most people don't realize. Even after procedures like angioplasty or bypass, these small habits still matter, because if lifestyle doesn't change, the problem can return. Yes, return. That's why I always say, treatment helps, but habits protect. Now let me ask you something honestly. Are you relying only on medicine, or are you supporting your body daily? Because the difference between the two is the difference between temporary relief and long-term health. Now what I'm about to share next is something even deeper, because there's one more habit, so powerful, that when combined with walking and hydration, it can significantly reduce internal inflammation. And inflammation is the root of plaque buildup. This habit is something most people ignore because it doesn't feel like health work. But what happened to one of my patients after applying this was truly eye-opening. I'll reveal that next. But before we move forward, if you're learning something new today, take a moment to subscribe to Dr. Danzy Senior Health Tips, because these are the insights that can quietly protect your life. Now let's go deeper, because the next piece might be the one you've been missing all along. Now, this next habit almost no one takes seriously because it doesn't look like a health habit. No equipment, no medicine, no diet change, and yet it directly affects your arteries, your heart, and your long-term survival. I'm talking about stress control, immediately after meals. Yes, your emotional state, right after you eat. Now let me ask you something honestly. After your meals, what do you usually do? Do you open your phone, scroll through stressful news, watch something intense, get into arguments, think about work pressure? Because if you are doing this, you might be unknowingly harming your heart every single day. And this is where most people make a silent mistake. They focus on food, but ignore the state of mind in which they digest it. One of my patients, a 70-year-old man, was doing everything right on paper: healthy diet, post-meal walking, proper hydration, but still, his BP fluctuations continued. His reports were inconsistent. He was frustrated. He said, "Doctor, मैं सब follow कर रहा हूँ, फिर भी control क्यों नहीं आ रहा?" And what we discovered next was something he never expected. After every meal, he would immediately sit down with his phone, watching intense news, political debates, arguments, stressful content, and his body was reacting. Because here's what happens inside you. When you are stressed, your body releases cortisol, adrenaline increases, heart rate rises, blood pressure spikes, and most importantly, your blood vessels tighten. Now imagine this. You just ate food. Your body is trying to digest. Nutrients are circulating, but instead of calm processing, you create internal stress. And this combination, over time, damages your arteries, increases inflammation, and accelerates plaque formation. Now this is the myth we need to break. Stress is separate from physical health. No, stress is physical. It changes your internal chemistry. It directly impacts your heart. In fact, a study of over 2,000 individuals found that those experiencing frequent post-meal stress had nearly 2x higher risk of cardiovascular issues compared to those who maintained a calm routine after eating. Now think about that. Same food, different mindset, completely different outcome. Now let me take you back to that patient. We didn't change his diet. We didn't add new medication. We made one simple adjustment. After meals, no phone, no news, no stressful conversations, just calm sitting, light breathing, relaxed environment. Even simple things like talking peacefully with family or sitting quietly. And what happened next was powerful. Within weeks, his BP stabilized, his reports became more consistent, and most importantly, he felt calmer, more in control. And this is where the real transformation happens, because your body heals best in a relaxed state, not in stress. Now imagine combining everything we've discussed today. After every meal, you walk for 10 to 15 minutes. You manage your hydration properly. You stay calm, relaxed, stress-free. This is not a complicated system, but it is a powerful one because now you are attacking the root causes: sugar spikes, poor circulation, digestive inefficiency, stress-induced inflammation, all at once. And this is how real change happens. Now here's something very important. You don't need perfection. You need consistency. Even if you follow this routine 70-80% of the time, you are still creating a huge positive impact because your body responds to patterns, not occasional efforts. Now let's pause for a moment and look at the full picture. Arterial plaque is not just about cholesterol. It's about lifestyle patterns, daily decisions, repeated habits, and most of these habits are under your control. That's the most powerful part. Now let me ask you something. If a simple 10-minute habit could reduce your risk, would you ignore it? If staying calm after meals could protect your heart, would you still choose stress? Because the truth is, most people don't fail due to lack of knowledge. They fail due to lack of awareness in daily moments, small decisions, repeated daily. Now think about your last meal. Did you walk? Did you manage your water? Did you stay calm? Or did you sit, scroll, stress? Because that moment is shaping your future health. And the good news is, you can change it from today, right now. No waiting, no cost, no complexity, just awareness. Now I want to hear from you. Be honest. After eating, what is your usual habit? Do you sit, lie down, use your phone, or walk? Comment below and share your routine. And tell me, which one of these habits are you going to start from today? Because your answer might inspire someone else to change their life too. And if you found this valuable, make sure you subscribe to Dr. Danzy Senior Health Tips, because here we focus on what truly matters: simple habits, real impact, long-term protection. I'm Dr. Danzy, and I'll see you in the next video.